tonight's call. So for season 10, you all are not in the wrong place. You are in the right place. But season 9 is taking over your phone call tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Hannah. I was the winner of season 9, phase 1. And if you know my story, then you know that I started losing weight in August of 2022. I had some success, and then I hopped on and rode hard on the struggle bus for a few months before I finally realized that I needed a coach, and I switched over to the success bus with Carmen. And so overall, I've lost 80 pounds, and since working with Carmen, I have lost 30 pounds. So season 9 is here tonight because we have actually been planning for this for a few weeks, and we are so excited to share with you all about a really powerful topic tonight. But first things first, we've got to step on the scales and see how everyone did.
This is Karen. My weigh-in this morning was 287.8. 287.4, if I say it right.
4.6. Not good.
It's bad.
Good morning. This is Stephanie. Movies 193.2.
All right, so are you all ready for some standings? In 6th place, down 2.8 pounds, a total of 1.37%, is Sam. Ooh, great job, Sam. In 5th place, we have Beth, down 3.6 pounds, 2.03%. 4th place, we have Christina, down 5.4 pounds, 2.79%. 3rd place is Stephanie, down 5.6 pounds, 2.81%. And I hope you all caught that. Stephanie is 2.81% and Christina is 2.79%. So they are definitely battling it out right there. And then in 2nd place, we have Karen, down 9.2 pounds, 3.1%. And holding down the top spot, the man of the group, Cliff, is down 10 pounds for a total of 4.65%. So amazing, you all. Like, seriously, for 3 weeks in, for those to be your all's numbers, I want you to know how truly incredible that is. You all have done a lot of hard work in the past 3 weeks, and you really set yourselves up to have some incredible success in the few weeks. So great job, and I hope you all are giving yourselves a round of applause and celebrating the hard work that you've already done. So to introduce our topic tonight, let me start by saying that for season 9, we are starting our 24th week together. And these ladies that are here with you all tonight are some of the most incredible women I know. And we are going to start off with someone who has been a huge inspiration to me. And one of the main reasons is because the last 6 months have not been easy for her. She has dealt with the loss of a loved one. She has had to deal with some challenging situations at home, including becoming a live-in caregiver. And through it all, she has just shown the most incredible resilience. She has shown what it means to make herself a priority so that she can truly be able to care for others. And I just am inspired and motivated by her every single day. So it is my pleasure to welcome Deborah.
Thank you, Hannah. Our topic tonight is life and death is in the power of your tongue. The Greatest Success book says in Proverbs 18:21, life and death is in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Words are everywhere. We are inundated daily through books, signs, music, TV, scrolling TikTok, our own conversations with family, friends, coworkers, and perfect strangers at Quick Trip, and for all you Texans at Buc-ee's. We evolve, build, and grow through communication. Our very existence was formed through the words that the Creator spoke. So it's no different that the life that we want, desire, and strive for will be created the same through our words. We shape our world by the words that we speak, whether it's the language we use internally with others or what we absorb from our environment. Our words have profound effects. Do the words that we speak uplift, encourage, and support, or do they breed negativity? We live in an environment that's filled with negative and surrounded by destructive talk. So let me ask you, how are you intentionally bringing life into your world? This journey that you have embarked upon, it's going to be a fight, and it's primarily going to be within yourself. You're going to have to fight your fluffy self to drink the water, to eat what's on the focus plan, to push yourself to get up at 5 a.m. to work out. Why? Because our fluffy brains like comfort. Our brains and our nervous system is hardwired for comfort, and it will resist change, but our minds, it's hardwired for growth. While our brains have evolved to help us grow, it also has preferences and it likes shortcuts. And these shortcuts can lead the wrong way, particularly when we're stressed out and we're overwhelmed. These shortcuts can lead us back to comfort. And these cognitive patterns, they distort our thinking, essentially lying to ourselves and impacting our behavior when we feel that we're out of our comfort zones. You will feel like you're on a hamster wheel. It's going to be comfort versus growth. Personally, my dysfunctional upbringing drove me to want to break away from generational patterns. And I discovered Dr. Caroline Leaf, a neuroscientist, who explained how positive and negative words affect our brain's neural connections. In Dr. Leaf's lecture, she stated that when you speak positive words, the neurons, and she had a diagram, they look like little Christmas trees on these neurons that run through our brains. And when you speak positive, they grow and they're plump and they're full. But when you speak negative, those same neurons weather up and die. So I want to challenge you to see where negativity is creeping into your life, whether it's in your internal dialogue or your external influences. Refuse to let a negative mindset rob you of your potential.
So good evening, girls and Clifford. I still keep calling you Clifford because I know that's what your name is. But anyway, my topic this evening is on decisions. And so I am curious to see or to hear, and I'm sure we won't do it this evening. I'm curious to hear on how you all make decisions, but I've done research and I thought it was ironic that I'm the one that is speaking on decisions because I am literally speaking to myself. We all go in different levels, but we had to make a decision to join this group. So how do you make a decision? For myself, depending on what the decision is, the first question I typically ask myself, and I started this a long time ago with my boys when I wanted to dress them. And so the decision of the day was, am I going to dress them and make sure they all match? Because I have 5 of them. Or am I going to let them dress themselves? And so, we can put so much pressure on ourselves. So often I would say, okay, is this decision going to matter in 5 years? So I still to this day, well, is this decision that I'm making going to matter in 5 years? How much energy am I putting into this decision? Because decisions are basically us making, we're problem solving. Problem solving is decisions. And so however we decide to solve the problem, we can make it a stressful situation or we can make it a quick situation. And so I have learned that successful people, leaders, happy people, decisive people, people that have a lot of good emotions going on in their life, they are very quick decision makers. And with that being said, there is no decision is a perfect decision. You just have to make a decision. So many times in your life, you have to make a decision. Like for you, when you decided to join this group, you had to make a decision. Was this decision that you were making on your weight loss journey going to matter in 5 years? Yeah, it really was. And by you not making a decision, you're actually making a decision. So some of the things that I have figured out is 85% of the decisions that we need to make should be made instantaneously or within a very short amount of time without us overthinking them. Only 15% of them are actual serious problems. And so when it comes to making a decision, talking about the 85% of those decisions, the more we focus on the decision that I have to make, too many times I deliberate on the negative. So with that being said, I deliberate on, we fear making the decision. Fear is based on loss. What are you afraid of losing? So for you, when you went into making this decision about joining this weight loss group, what were you afraid of? What did you fear? Did you fear failure? Did you fear the fact that I'm not going to be able to eat cake? I can't have a drink, or, you know, what if I just don't like these people? Or what if this is just not going to work? What if this program does not work for me because nothing else has ever worked? And so we always think in our head, fear is fear of loss. And so we focus on that. Well, when we do that, we need to flip it around and we need to say, okay, going into this program, instead of thinking of what I'm going to lose, you're going to think, wait a minute here, how is this actually going to help me? If I join this group, how's it going to help me? Well, I'm probably going to learn a new eating habits. I am going to feel happier because I'm going to be losing weight. I'm going to look better, and I'm actually going to be able to, you know, be healthier, and it's a different lifestyle. It's going to, not only is it affecting your physical life, but it is a proven statistic that if you make a decision and focus on the good things and do the hard thing, if you level up in your physical life, you will automatically level up in all other areas of life. Because one little thing that I have taken to heart this year especially is, and I had to really call myself out on this even this past weekend, because whether you have a lot to lose or a little to lose, it is a decision that you have to make. So sometimes we think, that's not a big deal. And maybe it isn't for 1 day or 2 days, but you stack those up and those are bad decisions that you're making, it will take you downhill really quickly. So one thing that has really caught me off guard is how I do one thing is how I do everything. So if I'm going to half-ass one thing, if before I catch myself, I'm going to be half-assing a whole bunch of other things. And I don't want that in my life. And so I have literally had to call myself out on the carpet so many times for making bad decisions because I didn't think it was such a big deal when in reality it was. Also with our decisions, all of our decisions have a level of importance. And so how important is this decision for you? They all have the different levels. For me, there were times that I didn't want to make this a priority, but I had to make it a priority. I went back to my commitment. I went back to my piece of paper. And then you think about all the people that it will affect. Your decisions affect those around you. And even in our group, I know that sometimes my even though it was just me, I'm sure it affected other people because whenever I was had a decision to get off, or Hannah would call me, or one of the others would call me and say, hey, what's going on? There's something not right with you. I can tell in how you're coming across. That she had made a decision to be there for us. So are we making a decision to be all in? So those things all really do affect how we go into this. So you just have to get really good at making decisions and being true to yourself. So I think that's probably been my biggest aha thing during this whole journey for me, has been the decisions that I have to make, and I have to make them pretty frequently. I have to call myself out on, am I making good decisions or not? So I am very, very grateful to this whole group of friends. They have become so amazing, and I know we're going to stay in contact even after our time is up, but that's the decision we're making. We're making a decision to stay focused and keep going.
Thank you, Susan. And you're right. I tell season 9 all the time that they are stuck with me for life. So they better just get used to seeing me pop up in their polos. And so, Susan, something that you hit on early on and what you shared that really stood out to me is the decision that every single one of us made to start this journey will absolutely matter in 5 years. And for those, season 9 knows this about me. Those of you in season 10 that I do know personally, you know this about me as well. I'm a planner. And so for me, when I hear that, I think how much easier does those in the moment decisions become when you have a plan? And that's what I love about the biggest transformation is you have a plan that works. And right now you're in the focus phase. So yes, what you choose to eat today will matter in 5 years. What you choose to focus on today or how you choose to feel about your way in today will matter in 5 years. How hard you choose to work out will matter in 5 years. So just think about that. Even though those seem like little decisions today, you're in the focus phase. So all of the decisions that you're making right now will absolutely matter as you work towards your goals. And speaking of, it takes a really strong person to decide that they want to start losing weight, but I think it takes an extra special person to decide to start losing weight while pregnant. So that brings us to our next speaker, who has been such a blessing to me. She started season 9 in her 3rd trimester, welcomed the most beautiful little boy, and he was very dramatic about it. Like the baby had us really on baby watch for like what felt forever. But Catherine is just absolutely amazing. She has done all the things while pregnant, while having a newborn at home. Like y'all, in the weeks leading up to giving birth, Catherine was doing Insanity Max workouts. And in the hazy days of having a newborn, fresh newborn at home, she was on plan with her food and her water, and she lets absolutely nothing stop her. So I am so excited to introduce to you all Catherine, who is going to share with us tonight about how she uses her words to do the hard things.
Thank you, Hannah. That was awesome. Yes, I recently had my 11-pound baby. That was amazing. I just want to start off by saying I have 5 little ones. And this meeting, I was, even today, my kids are like little sponges. And if anything will show you just a straight up mirror of yourself, it's children. And my kids were saying some stuff today. My 3-year-old, she stuck her arm in her cereal and said, damn it. And I was like, okay, this meeting is this is a well-timed meeting, because it really, really shows you the beautiful parts of you, the parts where you're doing great, and maybe the parts that need some help. So today I want to talk to you about the transformative power of language and the ability to flip negative words into positive words. As you all know, Deborah had mentioned, everything from TikTok, the news, there's negativity everywhere. So it's even like, the self-talk and the internal dialogue constantly. So it is a beautiful thing when you're able to really, really make it a habit. And I think I'm pretty good at it, especially I am an alumni. So I was in season 7 and I learned so much about it, and you guys will get better with catching and being in the group. Us girls will kind of call each other out with the negative talk and stuff. So all too often we find ourselves surrounded by negativity, whether it's in the news, conversations, or like I said, the thoughts in our mind. It's easy to get caught up in a cycle of pessimism, allowing negative words to shape our perceptions and dictate our actions. But what if we could break free from this cycle? What if we could harness the power of language to reframe our thoughts or even our conversations just going on in day to day? The truth is, we choose to have the power to shape our reality. When we use negative words like can't or won't or impossible, we create mental barriers that limit our potential and stifle our growth. But when we consciously choose to flip those negative words into positive ones like can or will or possible, we open ourselves up to a world of endless possibilities and opportunities. Consider, for example, the simple phrase, I can't. By replacing it with I can, we instantly shift our mindset from one of limitation to one of empowerment. Suddenly, the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable become challenges that we can easily overcome. Like Susan was talking about, opportunities to grow and learn. And they're all over the place, truly. Especially, like I said, with kids, they're everywhere. And I try and teach my children this stuff. By flipping negative words into positive ones, we empower ourselves to take control of our lives. But the power of positive language extends far beyond our own individual lives, which is the part where if you're motivated by things even bigger, like for me, the children, it's more than just a mindset. It has potential to transform the world around us and build bridges. When we choose to speak words of kindness, encouragement, and affirmation, we create a ripple effect that can touch the lives of those around us in ways that we can never fully comprehend, because they can extend even, years out. So let us commit here and now. And this is when I was rereading this earlier today, after my daughter had said that, I'm like, okay, like we're going to do this. Let us commit here and now to flipping our negative words into positive ones. So it's not hard to do a workout. It's hard not to do a workout. It's not hard to, eat the blueberries instead of, the candy or the cake. It's hard to eat the cake. Let us choose to use words that are uplifting and inspiring, not only to us, but little ones, coworkers, all that. And let us bring light into darkness, because that's truly what words are. Like, life and death is in the power of the tongue. And hearing the Christmas tree analogy, it's wild to me, because, they didn't know that stuff back then when the word was being written into life is in the death, or life and death are in the power of the tongue. But God is, just the fact that the neurons shrivel up, that's absolutely fascinating. And I don't know, that motivates me, just knowing it's an actual physical stuff. So let us be mindful of the language we use, recognizing the incredible power it holds to shape our reality and others, and create a world filled with hope and possibility. So in closing, I want to leave you guys with a reminder. It seems simple, but it's deep. Words matter. So let us choose them wisely, because it is a conscious choice, every thought and every spoken word. Let us use them to build up rather than tear down, and to unite rather than divide, to create a world where positivity reigns and anything is possible.
Thank you, Catherine. That was amazing. And I just want to underline something that you said again, because this is something that I've learned over the course of this journey. Can't is truly the most dangerous word, because let me tell you all right now, getting a little fired up here. There is absolutely nothing that follows the word can't that isn't an excuse. But all that can't does is tricks you into thinking that it's out of your control. But when anything you put after can't is just an excuse. So I really challenge you all to think about this week, how are you using the word can't? Because I think if you start to look at when you're using it and what you're using it, that it's going to shine a spotlight on the areas where you are choosing to let yourself stay stuck. So thank you, Catherine. That was, I don't know if you can tell, but I leaned forward, like I'm like, you got me all worked up over here. All right, so as you all can tell, I've already shared with you all, but so far season 9 has spent 23 going into 24 weeks together. And I do consider all of these women to be my family, and they all mean so much to me. But I do have to say that the next speaker is maybe my favorite because she's my actual family. So if any of you watched our live videos from season 9, you know that I asked Carmen that if she did not have space in season 9 for both me and my mom, to please pick my mom first because I needed her to get healthy. And I needed my mom to not only get healthy for herself, but for me because she's my best friend. And not just for me, but for my kids who absolutely adore their granny. And I am so proud to say that she has absolutely transformed her life and she is not done yet. She is still going. And so before I make both of us cry, I'm going to turn it over to my mom, Donna, to talk exactly a little bit deeper on what Catherine just did about how she overcame excuses to start her journey. Mama, let me get you pulled up. All you.
So, season 10. Just to let you know how my health journey began about a short 5 months ago. From attending other events with Coach Carmen, I knew about the biggest transformation and had been watching each season, just in awe of how these folks had made so many changes. When season 9 applications came open, tonight's host and my beautiful daughter Hannah said, "Mom, let's apply and see what happens." Thus began a 2-week discussion of, did you send in your application? Mom, did you do your why video? Mom, my answer was always no, no, and no. My mind was telling me you can't do this, and here's why. Oh, mercy. You see, I had been really good friends with these 60 extra pounds for at least 30 years. I'd been fluffy for way too long. I had double knee replacements a couple years ago, and I can't do these jumping exercises and move all this weight for 30 minutes every day. My age, and from looking at you all tonight, I can say that I'm probably the oldest on here. But what 66-year-old embarks on a health journey and sees it all the way to the goal? You can't teach this old granny any new diets. I had tried them all. I'd lose a few pounds, I'd gain them back. I'd lose a few pounds, I'd gain them back. But tonight, I sit in front of you saying, you can. You see, I put all these excuses to shame and kick them to the curb. I have and will continue to work out 6 days a week. Just completed 80-day obsession, which are 40 to 60-minute workouts every day. Yes, I had to do some modifications, but I completed it. And my knees are loving this slimmer body. This 30-year-old relationship with the fluff is coming to a rude awakening. It's ending. Now realize my age is just a number. In a month, I'll be 67, years young. This young granny has been taught a new way. Coach Carmen has put all the pieces of the puzzle together, and it's up to me to put those pieces into my daily journey. As of today, I'm down 42 pounds. I have 23 left to reach my goal weight. And after the first 12 weeks, I had lost 27 inches. And Catherine said something after I put that on the Marco Polo. She said, Donna, that's over 2 feet. you've lost over 2 feet off your body. So a thought to share with you all as I end tonight, and this hit me really hard. You spend the first part of your life and health making your wealth. You spend the last half of your life, you spend your wealth trying to obtain your health. So be wise, get enough sleep, reduce those stressors, eat healthy with occasional treats, and add that movement into every day. So what excuses are you holding on to? I hope my story gives you a renewed spirit of no more excuses. Back to you, Hannah.
Great job, Mama. And I'm so proud of you. And I just love that you chose to stop saying that I can't do this. And instead you started saying I can. And what I just want to emphasize to season 10 is people are watching you. Whether you realize it or not, people are watching you on this journey. And my kids, my 2 boys, have the incredible privilege to see their granny live this out every single day. My kids do check-ins. I have this sweet little polo I sent season 9. One night I had finished my check-in and I heard my son talking in the other room, and he's holding his hand up, pretending to do his own little check-in. So he's watching and he's learning, and just know that you are making changes in every area of your life that are impacting more people than you know. And it all starts when you stop making excuses and you start living the life you were meant to live. And that all goes back to the words that you say. And so last but certainly not least is our biggest loser. And I do mean that in the best way, because in the last 24 weeks, my beautiful friend Laura has lost just shy of 75 pounds. And she has done this in every scenario you can imagine. In the last 24 weeks, she's traveled, navigated the holidays, had weekends at the lake, and just this last week, she attended a friend's Valentine's party and a wedding and still dropped 3.2 pounds. So she has absolutely realized the power of her words. And so now I'm going to let her tell us how she uses her words to influence herself and those around her. Miss Laura?
Our words definitely have power. And so Susan kind of alluded to this earlier, but we definitely have some crazies in season 9, and those are the people that set their alarms at 4:45 in the morning, 5 a.m., those 5:15 people. And I actually wish I was one of those people, and I might try to challenge myself to do that, because I think in our season, I'm the only one that actually works out after work right when I get home at 4:30. But I loved hearing their messages in the morning. So since I'm not a morning person, I usually listen to the messages while I'm laying in bed after I hit snooze probably once or twice. And then I would listen to their message, or I would listen to them as I would drive into work. And I just want to say, even though I'm not a morning person, hearing their positive words, I feel like definitely helps set the tone for my day. And so I went back and listened to a few of them, and yeah, a lot of them rhyme. And I feel like if it was a competition between Hannah or Susan, who got up earlier, who would leave a message first. And every once in a while I was like, oh, Hannah's got 3 days in a row. I don't know what Susan's doing. But here are some of the messages. Today we're gonna have a magnificent Monday. Workouts done. Have a great day. Love yourself and love other people. Everyone have a terrific Tuesday. Good morning. Workouts done. I'm sweating. Let's get this day started. Everyone have a great Thursday. Let's get it done, ladies. Good morning, girls. I'm on fire. Let's have a fabulous Friday and let us all finish strong. And I feel like these words are contagious. They definitely, I felt like, set my morning in the right tone, the right foot. And everyone's dragging into work on Mondays, and I'm like, yeah, I am gonna have a magnificent Monday because you know what? I meal prepped. I'm ready for the week. I got my plans together. I'm gonna knock 3 or 4 things off my list at work, and I am gonna have a great day. So I feel like their words definitely get me going in the morning, especially if I'm still laying in bed. I'm like, "Ugh, these people have been up for like an hour and a half. I've worked out, have showered. Like, I am so far behind. I have got to get going." So, um, Susan and Hannah, you better keep leaving messages in the morning. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to listen to old ones over and over again.
Thank you, Laura. Yeah, Susan and I definitely competed for that first daily check-in. Like, and what was funny is we did it for the longest time without really realizing, like, we didn't acknowledge we were competing, but we so were competing. And I love what you said about Laura, about being the influencer. And I think what's really important for you all to realize is that you can be the influencer even on yourself. And a quick example that I'll give you all is, and I confess this to my group, is I was really bad about using the word crazy. I would say things like, it's going to be a crazy day, or it was a crazy day, or these kids are crazy. And so it was no wonder that my life, my work, my thoughts, my heart, my mind, my home, everything felt crazy and chaotic. Well, that's the seed I was planting. And so I've got really aware of how I use that word. It still slips sometimes, but there is many days where I will go without saying it. And guess what? Things don't feel quite as crazy anymore because I've influenced how I see that situation. So thank you, Laura. That was really special. And I love that you went back and got some of our old good mornings. I loved that. All right, season 10. So now that we've had a chance to share with you all, it is your turn to share with us. So your question for this week is this: what is an area where you have not been speaking life over your progress and your goals? And what are you going to do this week to correct it?
So it's funny, the whole theme of everything that everyone's talking about from your group. It's so amazing and inspiring. And I've actually been thinking a lot about my own negative self-talk. And today, I was having a tough day. It did get better, but I think I need to change around the words that I use for myself because it does affect me and probably my 2.5-year-olds. But when it comes to, um, one second, sorry. I made a list earlier and it was like, the biggest fears I have is getting all these health issues that have run in my family. So I've made a list of the things that I don't want and a list of things I do want. And I know with this program, like eventually I'll get there. But if I look at that list every day, that might help me. And then attaching the positive self-talk might help as well. So I'm going to try to do that daily, kind of look at that list and be like, this is what I don't want. This is what I do want. Let's go.
I guess I've been, and if I'm off topic, I'm sorry. I just can't, I don't know. I'm having trouble tonight. I've been really worried ever since I hurt myself during my workout, and it was like the second week, and I couldn't walk, and it was like my hips, and because this is the 5th baby, and I don't know. But I keep like inside my head being like, okay, I can't do that. Okay, I can't do that. Like, I'm looking at all these things and I'm like, I don't even think I can modify the modification, right? Like, I have to be so careful. But I do feel a lot better now. Like, I have recovered, and I need to like take that little scaredy cat voice out of my head and just be like, okay, I'm going to do a little bit more and see how I do, like those baby steps. So I don't know if I was on topic or not, but
You're absolutely on topic. And I think a way that you can look at it is think about you can still speak life over it even before it's happening, right? So you can still speak life over, I can do this. I can do it without modifying until you get there. So think about what is one thing in your workout that you have been holding back on? What's something specific in that workout that you can speak life over right now?
Well, definitely anything going from standing down to the floor and then back up again. I don't remember what that's called. But my kids have definitely sort of laughed at me because like trying to get down and up is just so ridiculous looking with this belly. But I'm going to just start telling myself that I can do it because I can. And even if it's slow, that's okay.
So for me last week, like, was really a challenge because I can always drop 10 pounds and then my body goes into like shutdown mode and I can't lose after that. And so because of that, I let that get to my head and like, why am I even trying? Like, I can drop the 10, but then after that, I can't get past that. And so, to focus on, for me going into this week is to focus on the inches that I've lost. And I am able to do, when I started this program, I couldn't sit flat and reach my toes. I'm able to do that the last 3 times when I stretch. I can reach my toes. So look at that. And then, look at the inches that I have lost. I am waking up at 5:30 in the morning instead of 6 o'clock or 6:30, or like not wanting to get up. Like I wake up on my own. So choosing to look at the positive things instead of letting the scale decide how my day is going to go, choose to look at the positive things that I do.
Good evening. So in terms of speaking life and death is in the power of our tongue, I have always, for many, many years, stood by that. And in terms of like how I speak to my kids and how I trained up my kids, and yet at the same time, it was like I had an internal abuser that was within myself. And I'm literally just I was always beating up on myself, right? And you're not good enough. You didn't do it right. You needed to do it perfect. It needed to be 100%. I mean, I'm literally just internally bashing myself, right? And so, which had over time internally led to a downward spiral of, where I've ended up. And so, I would say that has definitely been improving these last 3 weeks. And I can feel it, see it in everything that I'm doing in terms of like my energy, my mind. So much is changing in such a short amount of time just because of flipping that script and, remembering, what I preached for so long and that it actually applied to me and loving myself in that regard. And so, daily as I'm doing, our check-ins, and I want to critique myself and be so hard on myself for maybe not doing it this way or that way, I'm just recording internally and sharing with the group like my sprouts or my revelations of, the internal dialogue that I had in my head about the way I saw things or saw food or anything of that nature. So to battle that, I'll just continue. And I really walked away from this for many years, which is, walking through and notating my sprouts, being thankful for the little things, and walking through forgiveness of myself. And of course, those around me that make me super angry, but it's going to be those 3 things that are going to help me where, if I start to fall short. And it's typically me where I let myself down and beat myself up.
Okay. So this is actually it's a favorite topic of mine. The life and death is in the power of the tongue. I started back in, I think it was 2011 when it really hit me, because I was a master at sarcasm, I guess. And it took me 3 or 4 years to get that out of my language. And so in all that, there's still things that I still continually work on it. I just tonight, I think probably my trigger word is I'm trying. Instead of I can't, I'm trying. And I think it's probably the same thing. It's an excuse. It's the words like you were saying, Hannah. It's just an excuse. I'm trying. So you guys just had a lot of good stuff tonight. So one of the things my wife made me start saying is I'm sexy. so so one of the things, so I don't know how many affirmations I like to say, and I don't do it every day, but before those affirmations, I always say, I am whatever, I am sexy, I am a good leader, I am a good husband, I am. Okay, so Moses, I think it was Moses that asked God, what is your name? And he said, I am that I am. And God, we all have that God particle in us. And so when I say I am, I'm speaking out that God particle in me, that I am whatever that affirmation is. And so I don't know, that's just, words are huge. I still find myself doing, I don't know, just dumb stuff like today, my secretary and I'm sitting there and we're looking at the bank account because there's a lot of money that needs to come into the business, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, where's all our freaking money? Like, why am I saying that kind of stuff? I know it's coming, but I'm still panicking. So I still have a lot of things to learn and change as far as it goes to my words. And I just thank you, season 9. That y'all brought some good stuff tonight. That was great. So yeah, that's all I got.
All right, this topic was very topical for me tonight, and I thank season 9 so much. Y'all did a great job. I am fortunate enough to have a mentor who has reminded me of this since day one. So shout out to her too, and her daughter, both of y'all. And so it's something I have been working on. I haven't mastered it. And to everyone who preceded me to your points, a lot of it's in my head. And so I'm trying to be better about saying things out loud that match where I'm going and not what I'm afraid of. I am also a planner, as Hannah knows, and I have planned everything. I've followed all the rules. I've done all the things. The fitness was very challenging for me, going from couch potato to fitness. And I kept going. The scale that I am now to refer to as my best friend. And I probably need to be more convincing to help that along the way with my words and my seeds and planting my seeds. My best friend, the scale, and I are doing a yo-yo thing these days. And so all of my hard work, I'm so excited to get on the scale and have it show, only for it to show sometimes and never on weigh-in days. And so my mentor did a great job of helping me get my mindset, keep my mindset where I need it to be. And again, what I'm going to be working on this week is saying out loud the things that are important to me to try to minimize the negative thoughts that are trying to knock me off course. I'm not going to let that happen. So that's what I will be working on this week.
All right. Well, great job to all of you. And I just want to encourage you all as you move into your 4th week in the program, I really want you to think about what you shared with us tonight, and I want you to take the next few days to dig even deeper, because when you start thinking about the words that you use, you are going to find so many other things that you say that aren't lining up with the version of you that you're becoming and the goals that you're working towards. And don't think by any means that season 9 has mastered this in the last 23 weeks. Like, we are all still working on it. There will be times I'll jump in a polo and I will say something and I'm like, nope, that is not how I'm going to say that. And I start my sentence all over again. No one ever perfects this, but I want you all to realize what a powerful tool you all have now, because you're aware of it. And when you're aware of something, you can make changes and you can get better. And so I want to leave you all with these 2 things. And Beth, you kind of hit on it, and so I'll kind of circle back to that. But you will never rise above the opinion you have of yourself. And we hit on that without saying it directly a lot tonight. And so the only opinion of you that matters is yours. Like Laura said, we all have that family member. Their opinion of you does not matter. It is your opinion that matters. And so think about these verses. I am a woman of faith, and so these are 2 verses that really stood out to me in my readings in the last couple of weeks. But Proverbs 21:23 says, "Whoever keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps himself out of trouble." Proverbs 23:7 says, "For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he." So what do you think about yourself? What words do you use to think about yourself? And what do you say out loud? Because if you start putting more attention and focus onto what you say, you're going to keep yourself out of trouble, and what you think becomes who you are. So the words you use have the power to transform your life. And I just encourage you all to really give some thought into how you move into this next week to use your words wisely to help you continue reaching for and achieving your goals. So I hope you all have a great week, and we will see you back here next week.